Now, as you can see here, the Silk Road is a very complex system of trade. And we're now going to study the wizardly art of creating a system. So when you build your kingdom as the wizard, you're going to want to build a system that fills your kingdom with wonder. And the first step is always designing your system. Now, you don't just want to fabricate something out of thin air. You want to design a system that benefits everyone in your kingdom. So when we look at the Silk Road, it's really about a beginning and an end. And the Silk Road is how to get from the beginning to the end. The silk, which was the primary good, began in China and then ended in Europe. And the Silk Road was the system that got the silk from the beginning to the end. But as you can see, there's many different types of products that traveled this trade route. So when you build a system, you want it to be beneficial. And every product you have in your kingdom is a potential beginning. And then the customer who wants to use that product is the end. And your system has to get the product from the beginning to the end. That's the job of a system. So when you design your system, it's with that purpose in mind. You want to get something or a lot of things from a beginning to an end. Then you must design your mode of transportation. You have to have a way to get from the beginning to the end. And on the Silk Road, they used pack animals, much like this camel, who's very distraught by a monkey. So even if you use a car, it's probably not advisable to have an unleashed monkey climbing around in your car either. But nonetheless, you have to decide upon the type of transportation for your system. And then finally, you need to design stages. As you can see on this map, the Silk Road was enormous. Very few people traveled all the way from China to Europe on the Silk Road. Instead, they saw to one stage in the journey, and then they would sell their goods to the person who would then take them on the next stage. So as you build your system, you want to design stages so that someone can move through your system in a natural manner. You don't want the stages to be too stressful or too big for any one person. So consider these realities as you explore your wizardly talents. Build your system to get products from the beginning to the end. Designate the transportation that's being used and the stages. Because as you look at a system connects the beginnings with the ends.